Oregon is a unique place. It's a great state. It's a progressive state. And it's a state where labor and community and electeds come together and we accomplish great things. In 2014, when the Koch brothers and their corporate friends tried to buy elections throughout this country, and were successful in many, they failed in Oregon. They failed in Oregon because collectively we said hell no to an agenda of greed. We said hell no to an agenda of hate. We said hell no to an agenda that turns a blind eye to the needs of our people. And in 2015, the Fair Shot legislative agenda, 3 of 4 pieces of key legislation were passed, the most progressive workers' agenda in this country, gave Oregonians a retirement, gave Oregonians paid sick leave, and for ex-offenders, we banned the box on employment applications to give them a fair shot at a better life. But my sisters and brothers, as we stand here today celebrating and honoring workers, we have never been as in great peril as we are this very second. You see, the Koch brothers and the 1%ers and their friends aren't satisfied with all the wealth and power that they have. They want more. And they promised to put almost $1 billion into the next election. And they're already here in Oregon. They're here in Oregon because they want to stop what we have passed, what we've worked so hard to do for workers. They're in Oregon to silence your voice. They're in Oregon to take away the collective power of working people. Are we going to let them do that? Let me hear it. Are we going to let them do that? I say hell no, we're not going to let them to do that. My sisters, my brothers, it's going to take every single one of you, workers and community and electeds, standing up to the Koch brothers. And elected leaders have to stand by us shoulder to shoulder. We're facing a foe with unlimited resources where enough is never enough, and they want to silence our voice so they can pick our pocket and increase their wealth. We're not going to let that happen. I will tell you this. Organized labor in Oregon and the United States, with your help, will continue to say no and fight an agenda of hate and an agenda of greed.
We've got to be ready for the union-busting attacks and ballot measures that are going to be coming here next year. You know, a couple weeks ago, I walked the picket line with the steel workers in Albany. Some of those folks have been working for 40 years under a great contract there. But their CEO, who is housed out of state and who just got a $4 million raise himself, refuses to give them a contract and has locked them out of their jobs. That's the same kind of out-of-state effort we're going to see coming to beat back unions in Oregon next year. And what we've got to do is stand arm in arm, every union brother and sister, defeat those ballot measures and keep unions strong. And you better believe that as your labor commissioner, I will be at your side every step of the way.
Our values were important. I've always viewed unions as being the stalwarts of the middle class. And at no time in my life has the middle class been more threatened. We clearly have our job cut out for us. Those that would oppose your right to organize are going to be on the ballot in 2016, probably on the ballot those years after. So one of the things we always have to talk about is vigilance. What is most important is that we all realize here that our commitment has to be ongoing. We cannot rest on our laurels. There is so much work to be done. All of the people that behind me are all good people. They all support your right to organize. But we need all of us to make Oregon the kind of state that it should be.
Retirement security, but I am here to tell you today that the fight is not over. At all. Fighting for justice and fighting for fairness and fighting for equity is not.
As well as public health issues, a couple of really big bills we worked on this time. One was getting toxic set of children's products. We passed that with very strong labor support. We also tried to pass, and have not yet quite done it, although the House did it, but we're waiting for the Senate, to pass health care for undocumented children. And when you see what's going on over in other parts of the world with refugees and immigrants who are standing up and saying, we're human, we need help. It's about the kids.
When I go to the House of Representatives, I know that that is the house that labor built, and you are welcome there, and that is your house. But across the country, when I talk to my colleagues, and they say, how did you do that? And I said, because we have unions, because we have a labor movement, because we're not lazy, but understand, they're going to come after us. The Republican Legislative Campaign Committee has $44 million. Part of that's going to spend to try and take us out of the majority, but we won't let them. We won't let them pass right to work. We won't let them win. We will come back in 2016. We will finish the Fair Shot agenda. We will raise the minimum wage, and then we will come back and we will beat them and we will do more.
Just as Val just did, we've heard about the threats to our unions. I'm a union member, both OEA and AFT. I've been with UFCW. I was with the Portland Police Association in another life, and I know how important union support and recognition is. So let me ask you a question. You remember an old song by Twisted Sister? Do you remember it? We're not gonna take it anymore. Are we gonna take any more union busting? No. Say it with me then. We're not gonna take it anymore.
I'm also proud to call myself a labor goon, and
I'm really happy that I used to be a Clackamas County Commissioner, and when I was in that job, we worked so hard on light rail. We worked so hard to get our $20 million plus funding in and to fight some opposition that said no to change and no to investment in infrastructure. Let's just not do it. And you know what's happening on Saturday? The grand opening of Portland-Milwaukee Light Rail, which provided thousands of jobs. Yeah, let's have it. Thousands of good jobs when our community needed it, and now we've got transit that's good for the environment and is fueling positive investment in Milwaukee. And
my concern, quite frankly, is we know that the folks are coming after us. They want to split us up. They want to make sure that we don't work together. Don't let them. We know how to stop that. We should be aware of it, get ready for it, and be ready to actually pass some of these bills that are going to be helpful for the future, for the community.
And because of that, because of you, we have continued to reverse the disinvestment in our schools in this state. That is major. We continue a trajectory of putting money back into our schools so that not just our kids, our workforce is educated and healthy.
When the Koch brothers and these other folks come into Oregon and try to bust the unions, just say no and fight like the Dickens to keep what we've got and make it even better. Thank you very much.
I have to tell you that I am so proud that an unequivocal opponent of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a staunch supporter of organized labor, a socialist who's drawing bigger crowds than any socialist since Eugene V. Debs, is now leading in the polls in New Hampshire and fighting for the lead in Oregon. It makes me proud to be an American to know that in the person of Bernie Sanders and his millions of supporters, the revolution lives.
The orange line will be complete this coming Saturday. I hope that you'll all come out to ride that first day. And then we are now working on the next major transit lines in the Portland metro region. PAL Division, a bus rapid transit that's going to connect Portland State University with OHSU, with all the major high schools along Division, and on out to Mount Hood Community College. And then we're also working on another transit line that's going to connect the cities of the southwest part of the metro region.